So Alex and Evelyn. He is the only survivor who has not been swallowed by the apocalypse. They're not even teenagers. In the prime of his life. At least when it comes to fertility. Here's the good news. They are fresh with each other. But can they repopulate the Earth? You all know that. There is a saying in human history. It's about two people having sex. Then drive the humans away. The groupie lovers were Adam and Shava. They made Eden their home. We're not sure. What food did they eat in the Garden of Eden? To sustain life. But maybe a little more than imports. As for Alex and Evelyn, there's plenty of food on their lonely planet. The ancient blue planet. No asteroid. Or some other similar catastrophic event. It's this forward-thinking artificial intelligence. Wipe out everyone. But before he was about to wipe out the last two humans, he self-destructed. Animals still exist. Artificial intelligence is programmed to do whatever it takes, ensuring the sustainable development of the planet. Then he realized that humans were destroying the Earth. So, the only rational course of action is to destroy all humanity. Yes, whoever developed that program must have upset a lot of people. In the first few months, Alex and Evelyn, I didn't think too much about revisiting the beginning of human life. They spend most of their time in rich people's homes, driving a flying car. One day, Evelyn almost ran into a tree. Since then, the couple decided not to take too many risks. They have some important things to attend to. God forbid. They live in Los Angeles, California. Mild climate. This means that the couple don't have to worry about the harsh winter. And without electricity. Let's put it this way. It's a little frustrating when the end comes. But these two people are, in terms of their chances of survival, very lucky. They also have an added bonus. That means there is no blood relationship. And that's a good thing. Because research shows that if the child is born to a related person, so the death rate will be higher, even if the child survives. These children are born. They are also more likely to have some kind of defect. Despite this, descendants of Evelyn and Alex, it is possible to be born healthy. But what about their descendants? Now we have a problem. He is the product of inbreeding. Actually, if you study what happened to his 77 children, you will find many. We're talking a lot of people don't live long at all. Many of them died just after taking off her beautiful baby makeup. A lot of people die in their 20s and 30s. European royalty also paid attention to the custody of family property to ensure the purity of the bloodline. It is also to ensure that after someone dies, money and property can be retained in the family's hands. In Spain, the Habsburg dynasty, the inbreeding of European royalty is very obvious. Their offspring are often frail and sickly. And the now famous Habsburg lower river deformity. In Alex, and in the brave new world of Evelyn, the internet may be down, but they still have access to books and libraries. And they play it safe. They looked up a lot of information about inbreeding. After reading several books on the subject, they are rightly concerned. Their own children's children will make the first original scream, then die, or in a short lifetime, with a desperate single, shame Chen, kill. The couple also read about Australia, Colt family, and the story of Poor and Jim's marriage. So, in a nutshell, Poor is a couple, brother and sister. He married Jim Colt. They were in New Zealand at the time. They had 7 children of their own. And I moved to Australia. When these children are old enough to have children, they made more babies. But the Colts didn't leave home too far. If you understand what we mean, these children are the result of incest. A lot of kids are defective. Some seem unhinged. It harms animals. Many children are frail and sickly, easy to get sick. Incest for this family. Not a good thing. When an investigator found them, he said it was something I'd never seen before. This story let Alex and Evelyn not benefit. The two of them sat in the library for a while. Imagine a group. Kids with fungus on their feet running around, trying to set the herd on fire. But does it have to be this way? And that's the big question today. Chulalong Palace. Of the children of the king and his sisters, some not a lot, and went on to lead a fairly normal life. Although it is undeniable that it's hard to find a child who lives past 40. Alex and Evelyn are now convinced, once they have children of their own, so the gene pool is small, will result in their future descendants being mentally they have disease. But what are their options? They had a child. It's a boy. Named him Carl. Then they had another child. Named him Asher. Damn it, they thought. Oh, two boys. And then Carl was fighting over the toys. Accidentally killed Asher. Then Evelyn and Alex gave birth to a third child. They named him Sebastian. Another boy. With nothing to do. The last two adult populations. Just having babies one by one. Actually, considering Evelyn's natural aging process, they've had enough kids. Most of the children are doing well. And kids are different. Before we discuss this strange case of large families, let's explain before. You've heard about DNA. It contains 23 pairs of chromosomes. Each chromosome contains thousands of genes. It is these genes that determine human characteristics, like hair color. But there are some genes, but here's what's important. As you know, not all children will receive it from their parents, acquire the same DNA, unless they are twins. 50% of your DNA comes from both parents and 100%. Now imagine this. Your mother's DNA is like a half deck of cards. When the next child is born, the deck will be reshuffled. Is that so? The next child will not acquire the same DNA and all the same genes. But if there are many children, and you keep shuffling, then at some point, some combination of genes will look similar to another child's. As we continue to discuss Evelyn and Alex, the story of, and this is important to understand. The good news is that there are many defective traits. If generations come from the same gene pool, even after multiple recombinations, certain bad genes may also match at some point. King of Spain of the Habsburg dynasty, Charles II. It's a character with a Qin civilization. Generational inbreeding. That's what made him like this. Actually, he was born with many defects and disabilities. It made his life a living hell. After years of suffering, he died at the age of 38. To give you a general idea of what might happen, here's his autopsy report. Hearts are the size of peppercorns. Lung corrosion. Intestinal rot. He only has one testicle. Black as coal. Had full of water. When Evelyn read this report, he passed out on the spot. Because he thought of the descendants of the family. The first thing that came to his mind was one of his grandchildren. Looks like the movies he saw when he was a kid. The character in Poison's Avengers. But then one day, he is reading another book. Suddenly I saw a sentence lighten his gloomy mood. He read this sentence. The short-term impact of first-pass diversity. The evidence is solid. But all of this is just a matter of probability. There's a lot coming back from the margins. Incredible story. Anything is possible. You can also try your luck at cards. Evelyn tried to use language that was easy to understand. Explain this sentence. Finally come to a conclusion. If he and Alex eliminate enough children, and those kids weed out enough kids, so despite the many challenges, even roast cattle, but some children may thrive. The future of humanity may be just around the corner. Evelyn's hair finally turned white, and at that time, his beloved husband was an amazing farmer. It doesn't seem too bad, but the lives of some of his grandchildren, as one of his favorite writers put it, bumpy and short. He and Alex had 10 sons together, and 18 daughters. They have children with each other, because it is inevitable. The theory of evolution actually wants us to attract people who are different from us. But the future of humanity requires us to adapt to each other. Evelyn is still worried.